shoving me. All right.
So you know, you don't want to
stop shoving you.
This will ruin your whole life. Oh, sorry, you'll ruin your whole life.
A pro-Hamas insurrection in Colombia. Anti-Israel anarchists smashing windows with hammers as they breached a building on campus, barricading the doors to occupy the academic hall. They hung up flags in support of terrorists who slaughtered Jewish families, chanting calls for an intifada. Colombia is trying to save face by saying that any students occupying will face expulsion. But that threat didn't scare them off. The occupiers are still there, banging those drums and a bongo, chanting for students to stand their ground. Now, after waging a revolution for about a few hours, they got hungry. Luckily, somebody threw down a rope and pulled up essential supplies in milk crates, but they struggled to get up this delicious-looking pizza. Unable to fit the large square box into a smaller rectangular one. How did these people even get into an Ivy League school?
Students, hold your ground! Students, hold your ground! Colombia, back down! Colombia, back down!
This looks delicious.
So, Greg, they have now knocked out the SAT requirement.
Yeah.
At Columbia. That could explain the inability to get the pizza up to the second floor.
That is true, and also they don't really exercise that much. I'm going to repeat myself. We should be celebrating the monster turning on its creator. We should almost be stepping away from this and just let the idiot on idiot action go to completion. Let the colleges implode. And if you have students there, take them out. If you're smart, enroll them in another college. Sue for the tuition you paid. And if you're Jewish, you have kids there, get them out. Because you know what? You're not wanted there. There's some main points to illustrate here. Number one, under the guise of freedom, they're impeding on the freedom of others, right? And they use the costume of the oppressed to actually oppress. It's a rabid dog pretending to be an underdog. And then they condemn authority while they're actually trying to establish their own authority, sanctioned and amplified by this paternal authority, which is the university. They exploit the terrain, which is the university, and somehow it's a sacred ground, a safe space for uncivil behavior. But you have to ask yourself, would you do that at a Waffle House? Would you try to impede, some families, attempt to get a pancake? Well, do they have pancakes there? Or waffles? No, you wouldn't, because you'd get your asses kicked. But you're coddled here. So, I don't know. When you're watching this, I say, let it roll.
They have been letting it roll, and then today the mayor said, you know what, we might actually have to just go in and not allow Jewish students to be persecuted.
It is outrageous. I agree with you in terms of also okay, fine, you want to implode Columbia? Yeah. Great, knock yourselves out. What do we care? But the fact that Jewish students feel threatened on campus, that's where we have to step in, and that's where you have to say something. Mika Brzezinski this morning on MSNBC, she's the one who said that this looks just like January 6th, right? And so now you have a situation where there were also all these cameras on the other side of that guy breaking into the windows. There's tons of media with all these cameras. They were pre-positioned there in order to get the shot. Who's helping them? Let's find out. The other thing is, the Students for Justice in Palestine, SJP they're called. You could also say Students for Jihad in Palestine. They have hundreds of chapters across the country, and they get millions of dollars from George Soros and the Rockefeller brothers. William LaJeunesse, our reporter out in California, he reported on all of this yesterday. Two things have happened also that are outrageous outside of Columbia. One, at the University of Utah, one of the conditions that they asked for was ending cops on campus. What does that have to do with Palestine or Gaza or hostages or freedom? Nothing. That's just something that the left wants. But the other thing is Northwestern University, and the professor can talk about this a little bit more, but I'll mention it. They did something crazy. In order to negotiate with their student terrorists, they said, tell you what, we will definitely put you on a committee, and then we will decide what Jewish businesses aren't allowed to do business with our university anymore. And when you have Jewish people say, guys, you want to know what it was like in the 1930s when Nazism was increasing? This is what it was like, and they're not joking. The last thing I would mention is one of the hostages' moms, the one who was in the video last week, they were on Dan Senor's Call Me Back podcast, and I listened to it today. They saw their son after 200 days. She said, the mother said, I barely recognize him. but I knew it was my son because I know it was my son, but she said he was speaking Hebrew. We usually speak in English. He had his left arm been cut off, amputated, blown off, and he's not being well taken care of. And what she said was, I'm sitting here doing this interview, and you might think, oh, she looks okay. She looks okay. She said, but inside, I am being completely burned with a poker in my back at all times of the day. So we can't forget those hostages and what the families are going through.
Yeah, and you know, Northwestern also, as part of that deal, gave scholarships for Palestinian students and also special housing for Muslim students. It was a very big, large deal. And this has always been the approach of some universities, the path of least resistance. But at some point, administrators are going to have to go to the students and say, we actually do need the buildings. That is, the buildings have a function, and we can give up everything else on campus, but we need the buildings. But remember, at Columbia, years ago, they raided the library. Remember that? Because they were upset that conservatives were coming onto campus. So this didn't just happen overnight. I mean, welcome to higher education. These students have been shown over and over again that there are no consequences.
And now there have to be, because we've moved beyond just kind of violating the student code of conduct. You're smashing windows. Didn't they hold a janitor hostage?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Let me tell you, right, there's so much to say about this. The first thing that I'm struck by is the fact that they've got these keffiyehs, these hats, these masks on. They won't identify themselves, yet they want to harass, intimidate, and assault you, but they're not willing to say who they are. I suspect a lot of that is because many of them are not students. They're professional agitators. They're people from off campus. But here's the problem. When you've got someone like this President Shafiq, who doesn't do anything, who says, we've got a deadline today. No, we'll make it tomorrow, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, nothing happens. She's emboldening those people just the way the left is emboldening the criminals to commit crimes by saying, we're not going to do anything, don't worry, we're going to let you out. The most outrageous part of all of this, and I didn't know that Mika Brzezinski said that about January 6th. That's the first thing I thought of, January 6th. I also thought of Kristallnacht when they were breaking that glass as a reminder of what happened in the late 30s in Germany. But the issue is this. We're standing and talking about this. This can be resolved in no time. All you have to do is you get the police on campus. You don't owe an explanation to anybody. They are disrupting things. They can be charged with crimes. They can be charged with the assault on those superintendents or whoever was in the building, as well as false imprisonment, as well as a variety of other charges. You clear the campus. I want to know who's on a visa. I want to know that their visa's being suspended and that they've started revocation hearings. I want them out of this country. I don't want to hear that they're listening in Al Jazeera and cheering what's going on in the United States, and the Palestinian flag is wrapped up in the United States on Columbia University, and calling for the elimination of Jews. If it were blacks, believe me, they'd be all in jail right now. And I don't resent any blacks, but what I know is that Title VI of the Civil Rights Act makes it very clear. Department of Education can withdraw the funding, all the tax benefits. The Department of Justice should be involved. And we've got a president who's such a wuss. He has someone speak for him and say, we're going to let the universities handle it, while we have a president who's being prosecuted in Lower Manhattan who comes out and the first thing he says is, we've got to stop what's going on in these universities. It can stop. They've got to understand they don't have the power. We do, and we're tough enough to use it.
Can I add one thing, Jesse, that I forgot to mention now? This is according to Columbia's own statistics. They have 36,000 students total. 14,000 of those students are on foreign student visas. Now, I'm all for educating in the Western style, people from all over the world, but I think this is something that Columbia is going to have to take a look at.
Oh, they sure will. All right, the two students blocking protesters from the doorway will be on Laura exclusively tonight at 7 o'clock. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.